took my first trip with Bridges in 1996 when Bridges was just beginning as an organization.
Paul passed through Las Conchitas and he saw the destruction and the devastation left by the earthquake, and that's where Bedford got the idea to build the church. And when they came to build it, they also brought Gary Cohn, who was from the temple, and Gary absolutely caught on fire and said, I'm going to go back and tell the rabbi about this, and I'm going to talk to some people.
He went to our senior rabbi and said, we have to do this amazing program, get our teams involved, and I was called to the office and I met him and I was told, you're going to be leading a trip to Nicaragua.
And so in 2004 was the first inaugural interfaith trip, and we've been going ever since then with the church and the synagogue together.
And it's been an incredible partnership ever since.
And what makes the experience that much more rich is to have it shared with the Bedford Presbyterian Church, who are our partners in many ways.
Paul and I have worked together for now 8 years on these trips, experiences, and Kathy as well. She came on about 5 years ago.
We share interfaith services together, we share experiences in life together and teaching.
On many evenings I would be just sitting on the kind of the walkway in front of the classrooms where we were staying, and different groups of kids would come and sit there with me and say, can I ask you a question? The questions are not Christian questions or Jewish questions, they're deeply faith-based and human questions.
I think it adds some real depth into the trip, where we can find our commonalities and our similarities in our faiths, and share that together. I think it's really an incredible experience for our kids to see that.
The group that came with me this time lives in probably one of the top 25 zip codes in the United States, if not the world, and they're coming to the second poorest country in the Western Hemisphere, and within 6 or 8 hours they go from one world to the next, and that has to give you pause.
To create an immersion experience where they're away from technology, where they're away from social media, where they're immersed in culture and dialogue and a different kind of understanding and reflection.
And so you hope with that when they go home that they live their life just a little bit differently, or they're just more thoughtful in their actions every day, and when they interact with other kids at school and kids that are a little bit different than them, you just hope it shapes them in a positive way.
After the first trip with not only a different perspective on the world around me, but also myself and my interactions with people in my community.
I find that each year I learn something new about myself, I learn something new about Nicaragua, and to sum it up, I guess it's like a homecoming.
I felt like once I went for the first time, I couldn't not go again.
When the sign-ups came around, my mom was asking me, like, Colby, do you want to sign up? And I was like, I'll take like a week to think about it. And I thought about it like, damn, I learned so much last year about myself and about the world and about just what it is to be a person. And I felt like it would be a really good thing to come back.
This is probably my 10th trip down here, and it's the greatest thing in the world, absolutely greatest.
I think the reason that they are able to keep bringing kids back is because it means so much to them. It's so much a part of their leaders' hearts and who they are as people, and it's contagious. Their enthusiasm and their love for Nicaragua is contagious.
I think for me, the trip personally has been transformative for me and my rabbinate, and how I help guide people in seeking their own Jewish identities.
Yeah, my first trip I was pretty nervous. I'd never done anything like this, but it really not only changed the life of my kids, but personally, it's changed my life. Absolutely changed my life.
Like many of the high school students who come with me, it opened up the world to me and helped me to see my life and my community and my world and my responsibility quite a bit differently than it had before.
Bridges has helped foster that in terms of giving us and me these opportunities to come and experience and connect with people I would have never met in my life.
This is really a unique experience. I think Bridges does an amazing job. The experience that they've crafted down here, not only for the volunteers that come down, but for the communities down here, really empowers everyone. Empowers our teenagers, empowers the adults, it empowers the Masons, it empowers the whole community here. And I think that's really what it's about, empowerment. This trip is about working with communities. This house is really just a symbol. We work together, but it's really, at the end the house can be built no matter what happens, no matter how many people work or how hard you work. But for our kids or for our teens, for anyone who's a volunteer here, it's really about connecting with people.
Bueno, que nos han venido a cambiar nuestra vida, en nuestros niños, en nuestra familia, que en realidad nosotros aquí necesita eso, la escuela, pues recibimos con los brazos abiertos para otros años que ellos vengan a ayudarnos a nuestra comunidad. Y los quiero mucho, a todos.
I say that, as a religious leader, I say over and over again that the most important religious question that religious communities of whatever tradition have to ask and answer is the question of who is my neighbor. And so often we define that in the narrowest possible sense, of the people that look like us and speak like us and have the same level of income as us and live near us. And I think the goal of religion is to say, our neighbors are really those whom we have met in the different corners of the world. And my interaction with the community is I have new neighbors. So and that continues to be the case.